gold. I don't know if Sancho would have expected Galleon play. Maybe would have expected the
All right, here we go. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex, and some people call me Kamisazi. That's my gamer handle. And I work with the Sandbox, and we're going to be talking about the Sandbox today. It's been a little bit since I've streamed. Hopefully, I haven't lost everybody's attention on Twitch and YouTube, but here we are. And we're going to start off by watching a quick little trailer of something I put together for the Sandbox. And then we're going to talk some news and look at some gameplay. So let me pull up the trailer here. All right, and now this is something I made in the Sandbox Game Maker. It's called Hopper, and enjoy. All right, so that was Hopper. I made that with the Sandbox Game Maker. I made some of the assets that were in that using VoxEdit. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Sandbox or VoxEdit are, that's okay. There's links in my Twitch description, and if you follow me on social media, you'll be able to find all that stuff. You can also look at the Sandbox Game on Twitter, and there's lots of stuff there to look at. So the Sandbox is a content platform for game creation. And oh, hi Keyshawn, welcome. And so the Sandbox is doing this 3D game. There was the Sandbox 1 and 2 for mobile devices, and now this is like the Sandbox 3D. And the VoxEdit program is for creating voxel art for it, and the Game Maker is for building games on it. They're all going to go in this huge gaming metaverse. There's a lot of other game companies that are partnered with the Sandbox on creating this, and it's all a lot of exciting stuff going on. Hi, nothing. Updated on Android. That's a separate project from this, so there might be some people that are involved in both, but I'm not at all involved with the 2D Sandbox games, and a lot of the people working on this are new to this whole thing. So we're not new to game creation, but new to the Sandbox. So a lot of us were not involved in making those. So this is a whole new game experience, and one that we're excited for people to start trying out. The Game Maker should be released in a public alpha sometime this summer, or at least at the very least game experiences for people to play. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what that's like right now. A lot of stuff is going to change. It's going to look very different. But for now, we're going to take a quick look at Sandbox news. And biggest news is Square Enix partnered with Sandbox. So they put a $2 million investment into the Sandbox's Ethereum token called Sand. And that's really exciting. So right now, a lot of people aren't sure what this means. Does this mean Square Enix is coming to the Sandbox? Are you going to be able to play Final Fantasy in the Sandbox? We don't know that yet. It just means that Square Enix has put a big stake in the cryptocurrency that the Sandbox is going to be based on, and that's exciting. That's a lot more money that the Sandbox can use towards development, for paying all the freelance artists that have been hired. I started out as a freelance artist with the Sandbox, and I'm doing all sorts of stuff with the Sandbox. And yeah, it's exciting stuff. So you can check that out on the cointelegraph.com. There's an article about that. And next thing is some upcoming announcements. There is a third pre-sale round going for the land. So the Sandbox Metaverse is made up of all these land parcels. You can actually see my little icon right there. There's a little fox icon. That's one of my lands. I have another one somewhere over here. It doesn't have an icon. So what I'm going to be showing you in a little bit, and actually what that trailer was for Hopper, is a game built on one of these tiny little squares. So it's a 96 by 96 meter square. That's one land, and you can see that some of these squares are a lot bigger, but still 96 by 96 meters is not a small amount of space to work with. So if you are interested in participating in the Game Maker Alpha, the first people that will be getting it, other than staff, are the people who own land. So you can join the pre-sale on March 31st. I just wanted to check that. Yep, right there. It usually lasts over a week. Let's see. Does it say the end date on this? The last one I believe was 2 weeks. Doesn't say right here. But if you go to medium.com/sandbox-game, you can see all the articles related to the sandbox, and it has a lot of details in here, including price breakdowns. So you can see the price of land if you buy an estate, which is multiple lands together. You get a discount on that. So lots of exciting stuff going on with that. And there will also be some more assets, more game objects for sale as part of the pre-sale. So that's been an exciting thing that's happened twice so far. This will be the third one, and hopefully I will see you there. And then the next thing is the Ask Me Anything on Discord. Right before the pre-sales, we run an Ask Me Anything on the Sandbox Discord. If you are on YouTube, you can find a link in my videos for the Discord there, and I will actually I'll try to put one up in the chat here, but the staff, Sebastian, who's the COO of Pixel, the company making the Sandbox, and some of the other staff people attend that and try to answer any questions they can. So you're welcome to ask me any questions you want during these streams, and I will try to answer the best of my ability. But I'm mostly just an artist, and I develop levels. So as far as like business end stuff, I'm not really involved in that, but I can try to help. So Ask Me Anything is on March 24th, and check on the Sandbox Twitter. That's at the Sandbox Game to see these exact times. It's not in my time zone, so it's a little difficult for me to calculate it with the daylight savings times. But last bit of news is the VoxEdit contest. So this is exciting for people who like making voxel art or are interested in getting involved in voxel art. There is a contest for creating assets for the Game Maker. And I know there's been a lot of news lately with people who are starting contests that kind of exploit artists and take their content and don't really give them a proper return on the work that they do. So for every valid entry, I believe it's $50 participation. Yep. In sand credits. So all the payouts on this are in sand credits. This is not funny money. This isn't like Chuck E. Cheese tokens. This is cryptocurrency. So sand is an Ethereum-based token. You can take your sand credits that you get, you can convert it to Ethereum, you can convert that to cash. So the prizes, are actual real money based in cryptocurrency. So first place, you get this huge 12 by 12 estate, $5,000 in sand, bunch of other stuff. So there's 5 first place prizes, and then all the entries. Everybody who submits a valid entry, they're not submitting garbage, they're not submitting, copyright protected material. They're actually putting effort into a submission. They're going to get $50 for their submission. So that's really exciting. That ends on March 30th. So you've got about, what's today, 21st? You got 9 days to submit to this contest. And that's exciting. We've got a lot of cool submissions in so far, and we're looking forward to seeing more. And that's the news. So, anytime during the stream, you're welcome to ask me whatever, whether it's related to the news or anything Sandbox, or if you just want to learn about me. And we are going to take a look at the Game Maker. So, let me get some water first. Talking too much. So, this is the Game Maker's home screen, and you can see we can create new stuff from a template. There's 4 templates right now, and we're going to go with one that I've already made, which is Hopper here. Takes a minute for it to load up. So Hopper was a lot of fun to make. It took a while because I totally emptied out and started from scratch because I wanted to get the max height out of the level. And the editor and the player are all in one right now, so I can jump back and forth between editing and playing. So we start up in the editor here. And you can see this is the whole of it. So this is a 96 by 96 by 128 meter full-sized land all the way from top to bottom. So it's kind of huge. I made this in a few days. I try to make a new level every week. I didn't have one done this week, unfortunately, but I'll have another one next week. And yeah, let me move to the start here. I grabbed my character here. This is one of the default assets, Maximilian. And let's zoom in here. Make sure I'm not inside of anything. There I am. Okay. And I'm going to play. Sometimes it takes a second for it to load up the play, depending on what it has to generate here. And there we are. So we are in gameplay. There's no sound effects right now, no music, but you can walk around, run around, you can jump, you can interact with things. So we've got little city here, little town, village really, it's not a city. And we can talk to people. And so rumor says the owner of this house is stuck on the island. Wish he'd come back and mow his lawn. Looks so messy next to my bakery. So we've got a little mission starting here. Bakery owner is not happy about the lawn, and she's talking about an island. And we see some water back here. Let's see what's going on over here. So I was stuck on this island. You know, it's funny because you can just kind of walk through this water, but let's see what he has to say. He can't swim. He's been stuck here for so long. Can we make a bridge? So I don't really have any bridge materials here, but let's see what we can do. So now this is not a completed level. The sandbox is still getting a lot of features put in. So there would probably be more steps between getting that quest and discovering the area. More ways to funnel players through to have a cohesive narrative here, but I'm just making stuff for fun right now. And let's see what's over here. So we got a forest to the teleflower. So I wonder what the teleflower is. Got a creepy cave there. We're gonna skip past that. I saw a bird go overhead. Oh, there it goes again. So we're going through these dark woods here. And what's up here? Hey, we got some platforming going on. So we got some moving platforms. We're going to take a hop. And gonna make our way up to this one. Oh, and I fell. Try that again. All right. So we got to kind of move with the platform. It's a work in progress. And so here's the teleflower. So if you watch the trailer, then you'll know that this is supposed to teleport us up. It doesn't do anything right now. So we'll talk a little bit about behaviors and entities later. So that means we got to platform our way up, not using the shortcut. So if we look, there's a nice starting place right here. Get up on the hills. And what's this? We got a mushroom. So we can collect the mushrooms I feel like that's probably a fetch quest later on. Maybe somebody won't let us pass unless we give them some mushrooms. We got some more moving platforms, but, you know, I'm good at jumping, so I'm just going to skip that. We got some clouds, waterfall. Well, here's a bridge, but we can't interact with it, and it's nowhere near our guys, so that castaway is going to have to get his bridge from elsewhere. And let's see. Can we make that jump? Oh, and we missed it. But, hey, these clouds are pretty dense. So, we know we can walk on clouds. That's pretty cool. Hello, bird. Oh, there's the other teleflower, so that's where that first one comes out. Ooh. Ah, that was not a good jump. So much for me talking about being good at jumping. We're going to keep moving our way up quickly. Try to get back to where we were. So edge physics are a little goofy sometimes. Kind of get stuck on the edges, but like I said, all of this is going to be changing before the release in summer. So the developers are working hard on improving physics, interactions, adding more stuff to do. And, you know, it's not pretty bad for me putting this together in just a couple days. So we're going to get a nice running jump, and I can't believe it. I fell again. So, you know what? We're not going to waste time. We're going to cheat our way back up to the top. We're going to go back to the editor. And, you know, me as a level builder, that's an indication to me that maybe that jump is a little too complicated and sends you a little too far back. So we're going to go up back to, was it really that first jump there? So we're going to go back to our cloud, and we're actually going to edit the terrain a little bit. So that way it's not so difficult to get up on that cloud. So you can see I've got a whole ton of blocks here. This is kind of like Minecraft's creative mode. See all the different blocks that have been made so far. And I'm using the white block shiny here. Gives a nice kind of glow to the clouds. And I think we can probably remove those. So you can see I can do box editing. And let's add a little bit of clouds at the bottom here. So it's not such a dangerous jump. Okay, we don't want to make it too easy though. Give enough space for a running start. And make sure our character's not stuck in the ground here. Ooh, what did I just move? I moved the whole house. The aliens are taking it. Okay, so just Control Z, undo that. Accidentally clicked on the house in the background. There's Max. So you get a nice yellow highlight so you can see what you're clicked on. All right, now we go back to playing. Let that load again. All right, so we're back on our cloud, and it's just like a little jump. It's not too bad. So these clouds got like trees and lampposts, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty unusual for a cloud. And whoa, what's that? There's another teleflower. So that probably doesn't work either, just like the first one. I've got some more mushrooms. Oh, hello, bird. You almost knocked me off the platform there. Yeah, you go fly away. Fly somewhere else. I got some more platforms to jump from. Oh. So do some very careful platforming here. And I say don't look down, but looking up isn't very easy to jump, so. Oh, there's a little sky bridge here. They got a fountain up here and everything. And a whole house. A whole freaking house. Yeah, I wonder who lives up here. That's a sketchy jump. Oh. Would have been a long fall. So no fall damage yet. There's no damage in this game right now. There will be at some point. Right now we're safe to fall. I got another cave. Some more. I'm getting nervous here. Getting a little sweaty. All right. Okay. Ah, that must be where that other teleflower comes up. Hey, Science. I know you. Science is from our artist team. I'm doing well. You know, we're all home. My wife is in college, and I've got a daughter in preschool, but they get to stay home. So going a little bit stir crazy, all being stuck in here. But, you know, I never leave the house anyway. I like being home, so it's kind of normal for me. And what is this? All right. So we've got this kind of Coliseum looking thing and nice view of the ground. And an old guy. This guy looks like Castaway. What's he got to say? Here to help my brother. Oh, okay. So he's the brother of the guy on the ground. He's prepared spare columns to form a bridge. Oh, looks like we've solved our quest here. Just push them into the hole in that cloud. That cloud? He must be talking about that or that hole. I mean, don't tell anybody, but I know the answer because I made this, but, you know. Yeah, I bet. It must be nice to spend more time with them, though. It is good. I mean, so I work from home, so I see them most of the time anyway. I'm seeing my wife a lot more because she's not at school all day. But I see the girls about the same amount because preschool is only like a couple hours. I just kind of went up here without thinking. I just hopped off the top of that tree, didn't I? I wasn't even thinking about it. All right. So, there are the columns. So, something you can do in this game right now is play around with physics. How long did it take to make this? I made it over the course of about, I want to say 4 days. I wasn't working like a full 8 hours a day on it, though, so I'd probably say this took between like 15 and 20 hours. Not really that long. I mean, I did start from scratch. I erased everything in the map, brought it down so there was nothing left, and started from the ground and did everything working my way up. So, it was a lot, but I mean, I've played Minecraft that much in a week. I've played games that much in a week, so it was a lot of fun. Between play testing, you know, making sure that I could do most of the jumps and stuff, I'd probably say over 15 hours in a week. All right, so we can push those in, and those are gonna drop down. can see it go down. Just push them all in. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's still more I could do with this. I definitely want to add more people to talk to and interact with. Part of that, I'm kind of waiting for there to be more features so we can do quests and stuff. So I was showing earlier, I don't know if you're here yet, there were some mushrooms that I was picking up. So you can gather items, but there's no inventory right now, and there's no way for me to see how many of those items somebody has. So if somebody goes like, hey, I want 5 mushrooms, I can have them say that, but there's no way for me to actually accomplish doing that. And so we're just gonna jump straight down. I hope nobody's afraid of heights. Ready? Okay, trigger warning. I'm gonna fall 120 meters down. Ready? Jump. It'll be in water, so it's safe, right? That's how it works in Minecraft. 1 meter of water and you're safe. Okay, and here are all of our bridge pieces. You gotta assemble it a little bit. We can kind of push them. They're a little bit slippery, like they're on ice. That one's stuck on the edge. And this one didn't quite land right, but I don't know if I'll be able to kick it up there. We can try. If you get it caught like on the edge of a block, you can kind of kick them up. Hey, look at that. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And we've made our bridge. And he doesn't care because he doesn't know any better. He just still says the same things. But eventually there will be I'll be able to have triggers. So he'll be able to sense that the bridge has been put in place. I probably won't use the physics to drop them down like that because it's kind of unpredictable. We'll probably have some sort of sequence to put them in place and then have him use the bridge. But there's still more we can look around at. We've got a wolf cave in here. I think it spawns a wolf. It might spawn in the rock right now. I don't think I set up the position correctly. But we got some more mushrooms we can gather. Oop. Camera freaked out there for a second. And you can see the nice waterfall from down here. So these assets, everything in this game was made. It's finally out. So this is not out. This is hi Mike. This is the closed alpha, so I'm staffed with the sandbox, so I have access to this. It's been in this state for a few weeks now. The sandbox YouTube has been showing off little builds, and we will hopefully have stuff out for people to play early this summer. And the game maker is going to go to landowners first. So if you've been involved in a pre-sale and you own land, you'll have first access to this. That's right. The lands, I think the cheapest lands in the new sale are probably going to be around $30. They were like $28 before. I don't remember the exact price. It isn't locked in US dollars, so whatever Ethereum that translates to, it'll be that. So if you buy your Ethereum too early, it might fluctuate a little bit. So I would always buy like a little bit extra just to make sure that you can buy as much land as you want. So all these assets were made by the Sandbox staff and people in our creator fund. I don't know who made every single thing, but I can show you the things that I made. I made this building. It's made out of 4x4 by 4 meter chunks. So that's actually is it free to play? And players selling. So yes, the people can make stuff to sell. And the game itself is free to play, but there might be parts of it that are paid. So the Sandbox, it's not just like a single game, it's a whole platform for creating and sharing games. So somebody who owns the land, so I own a few lands. I own, I want to say 18 land, something like that. I own like 3x3, so 9 land sections. I could make a game on my land and have it be totally free for somebody to play. That wouldn't, help me at all, but I could do that. And there's lots of people, I'm sure, who will do that. If I wanted to, I could charge a fee for playing it. And there's different ideas of how that monetization model will work out. Whether you wanted to do it like an arcade where somebody plays like an arcade style game and they pay 1 sand token per play or whatever. The other possibility is you could have something like a big land, say like a 12x12 land, which would be huge if one land's 96 meters. I can't do the math in my head, but it would be pretty big. A 12x12 land, you could do like a AAA style RPG world, and you could charge a one-time fee of like 50 sand or whatever the price would be to make it equivalent to like a console game. Yeah, as far as I know, there's no mining involved. Yeah, so this is the part where I'm not super knowledgeable about the crypto aspect of everything. I am not sure, but I'm pretty sure there's no mining. That I think that's happening on the sandboxes and on the company's end, so people can buy in with Ethereum to get sand coins. There's different ways that you can get that money to have it in the game, but you could, in theory, you could go with paying almost nothing to actually start making money in the game. There's the possibility of getting sand prizes. You could possibly win assets. So all the objects are NFT tokens, or NFT tokens. T stands for token. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs. So let's say you win a prize in a game that's an item. You can go and sell that item because it's a unique item that you own at that point. It would be in your wallet and you could sell it, and you could use that to kind of perpetually grow your sand in the game, and then cash that out to Ethereum and US dollars or whatever you convert it to. Let's see, did I answer all those? Was there anything I was missing? But yeah, there's different monetization model ideas. And the thing with voxel art creation is as you create things for the game, you can sell them on the marketplace, and you can make them limited quantities. You can make it so there's only 100 of them, or only even one of them if it's something like really big and really special and you want to sell for a lot of money. You can make only one. People could commission to get stuff. And so you can publish your artwork. There's a small fee. There's a gas fee to publish on the marketplace. But usually, whatever you publish on the marketplace, the money you get paid back from somebody buying that asset is going to well cover over that fee. So it's kind of like posting a craft on Etsy or something like that. That's just the fee for listing it and making the token. Minting. Yeah, minting. Like I said, crypto's not really my specialty. It's artwork. So I was just kind of showing off what I made. So I made this big brick building. It's all of like reusable parts, so I can assemble different buildings with it. But this entire building counts as one object. And I also made these cars. They do have full interiors. You just can't open them up right now in the game. Is that everything that I made for in here? As far as artwork, I believe that's all of my stuff for artwork in this particular one, is the one building in the cars. And so this is a collaborative effort of a whole bunch of artists. And oh yeah, I like putting Easter eggs in my stuff. So if you manage to make it back here, you got a clone. What is this? This mysterious. He's supposed to talk. I don't know why he's not talking. I probably messed something up. Anyway, you can make your way out here. You're welcome, Mike. Some good questions there. So does anybody want to see what the what it's like working in the editor? I showed the train for just a minute, but we can also take a look at what the actual editing looks like. Yeah, an RPG type or just hang out in a city. You could do all sorts of stuff. So from the very beginning, the goal with the sandbox was to create any sort of experience. So you can make a racing game, you can make an RPG, you could make just a hangout. There's going to be all sorts of stuff you can do. So they're trying to, right now, most of the tools that are in there kind of gravitate towards like platforming, adventure kind of stuff, but they do want to have more styles of gameplay in there. And as the visual scripting that they're working on gets more advanced, people will be able to do really anything that they want. I know that, is it Crypto Motors? Is that what they're called? I want to say they're called Crypto Motors, has gotten a pretty large chunk of land, and they're interested in building, racetracks and car showrooms and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening. I'm really excited to see all the different kinds of things people make. Personally, I want to make fantasy RPG stuff and platformers like this, and also some like sci-fi, maybe like tower defense or something like that. So there's going to be lots of games, lots of hangouts. Multiplayer will be coming at some point. Right now, obviously, it's single player as we get these mechanics kind of locked in here. But the goal is going to be to have all sorts of experiences. So let's take a look at the editor. What time is it? What are we looking at for time? We've got about 15 minutes. Yeah, it's a good question, Science. So right now, these pre-made buildings are for decoration. It's the way stuff works in the editor right now. It's going to be difficult to make a pre-made voxel building as a single asset, but you have different options, and whichever one works best for you will be the way to do it, I guess. So I'll show you kind of what these look like here. So this is all one big hunk of stuff. These chunks here are totally full. There's no empty space inside except for these windows, because I wanted to be able to see the light through them and kind of just give like a volume and a space. So I could actually probably put a person inside here. They wouldn't be able to move around in this space, but I could put somebody like looking out a window if I wanted. I can actually... There we go. Ta-da! So I could put somebody like leaning out this window saying hi or something. Like that. So when I designed this building structure, I had that kind of in mind. So this is not really interactable in that sense. There is the possibility you could put a like a door object here that somebody could interact with, and it would like teleport them to another section. So if you wanted to do building interiors underground, where you don't have to worry about the skylights and stuff like that, you can do all interior lights. You can make a large underground area and kind of put all your rooms in there. because teleportation isn't a thing in the game logic right now, you can't do that at this point, but that's something that will be getting added, and you could do rooms that way. That's just one idea. I have different ideas of how you could do this. Another way, besides building, you could obviously build rooms with the voxel blocks, or with the Minecraft kind of blocks. Let's see. We got stone bricks. And so you can just build an interior. We can make a door. And we can grab an asset. So there is actually a door asset right now. And place the door. And now, let's see how close it is. Where'd I put it? It should be right underneath me. There we go. So the door's a little wonky there. It doesn't swing from the frame. That'll get fixed. So I just made a house. So you could do interiors like that. There's also, you could build walls. So the thing you got to watch out with a full volume building is that the bounding boxes in VoxEdit are the collision boxes. So I don't know if I have any good examples from the assets that are in here right now. I think the school bus, let's see what the school bus gives us. Oh, it's moving. I forgot that it's a moving platform by default. Whoops. Okay, so I just got to turn the behavior off. So this is the logic here. There's only a few options right now in this early alpha stage. So moving platform is one of them. I can tweak the movement speed, how far it goes. So right now it was trying to move 10 meters in the Z space, and it would wait 4 seconds after getting there. So we are gonna remove that. So you can assign different behaviors: asset spotter, avatar, button, dialogue, predator, prey, NPC, randomly walk, different things like that. So we don't want any behavior. We just want it to sit there. All right, go back to it. So I'm pretty sure you can't go inside this. Yeah. So you see how there's like an invisible wall that's kind of keeping me. That invisible wall that I'm actually stuck on right now because I'm holding the arrow key. This invisible wall is created by the bounding box of there being the rear view mirror there. So that rear view mirror makes the whole bounding box bigger for this object, and I'm stuck all around it. Let's see if there's another good example. I actually just saw it. So the fountain has a square bounding box. So you can't actually stand right here. You can't walk here. You'll actually get stopped right there in that corner because of the bounding box of this circle. Now you can, however, jump up on top of the surface here. Oh, you can't see my mouse cursor. That's annoying. Can I fix that? 1 second. Capture cursor. There we go. Hey, now you can see it. So I was trying to point to this, and because you can't see the little box here, you couldn't see where I was pointing. Anyway, you can jump on here, and you can walk on this surface. Well, it's technically actually the height of the edge, again, because of the bounding box. Your feet won't actually touch there, because this middle piece is a separate object. Yeah. This separate piece here this is all one object, one asset that you can place. If I click on it, see it's like that. But the column in the center is a separate object in VoxEdit that's rigged together with the base. So it's actually creating two bounding boxes, one for the bottom and one for the middle. So when you run up to it, you have to do a little hop. Here, see, I stop there, but I can hop up, and now I'm walking on the edge. You see I kind of float over there, but then I can't go in the middle, and I can walk off the edge because that bounding box still extends there. So I'm standing on top of the bounding box. So the more bounding boxes you create for your object, the more accurate the collision will be. But you also have to be careful because you start doing that too much, too obsessively, and you're going to end up with a lot more geometry on your object, and it's going to reduce the performance of your game. So you don't want to divide up every single little voxel and rig it, because that would just be a headache and would create headaches for trying to use it in the game maker. That kind of happens with this car also, I forgot. So this car is designed with the top and the body is all one piece. And now when I made this car, I actually didn't know what the collision box system was going to be. So I didn't know that I would have a collision here. So if I could do it again, I would take the roof part of the car and make it a separate piece. So that way you could actually stand on the hood or stand on the trunk and not just walk in the air over them. And that might get fixed later on. It's not super important for right now. I can actually show you what they look like opened up also. This car was a lot of fun to make. It was a little complicated, but let's see, animated decoration. Let's see here, open. So now when I go to it, it should be opened up. So you can select the specific animations that are set in VoxEdit. Yeah, I can see it from here. There we go. So yeah, I have a whole interior for this car. It's a 4-seater with a moon roof or sunroof. You know, I don't actually know what the difference is between a moonroof and a sun. I guess moonroofs don't open all the way, so this would be a sunroof, I think. You got plenty of room in the trunk. You can see the 8-cylinder engine, very powerful. All my lit up display panels here. Got the shifter and the steering wheel and everything. This is a little over detailed, I know. Can you have day-night cycles? Not yet. That is not a feature at the moment. Like I said before, this is early alpha, early closed alpha, so there's only a few of us who have it right now. So that is not, setting. This is the sky right now. This is what the sky is. I imagine it's going to be changing. If anybody's played the Sandbox Evolution, there's a lot of different settings to create games in that, and we're trying to create a more advanced 3D experience of kind of what the Sandbox Evolution is as far as level building and being able to create a world. So exactly how that's going to function with the metaverse, that hasn't quite been addressed yet, and I think that would be something good to bring up in the Ask Me Anything that's on the when was that again? The 24th. So in a couple days here. That would be a good thing to ask there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a day-night cycle, and you'll probably be able to set it yourself, because this is giving the game creators a lot of power to make whatever they want for the game. So like this jumping isn't even default jumping. Like I edited the avatar to jump the way that I wanted him to for this game. So by default, the jumping's a lot more shallow. I wanted more of a like Super Mario kind of feel to the bounce. Let's find him. I can actually search through, not him, there he is. Keep the bounding boxes in mind when designing assets, but not over rigging. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make the rig natural. So if you know that there's going to be like a big gap in your object, like if you wanted to do walls of a house, that, thank you, because that reminded me of the other thing I was going to show. So we're going to forget about Maximilian for a second here. And we're going to build another house. So we're going to go to our assets. And there's already some wall assets here. So you can have like brick walls. And so the bounding boxes are going to be defined by these rectangular shapes. And you can walk into a building just fine. So like that, really sloppy. There's other construction things. We've got, fences, window things. So you could make all the walls and windows and doors as separate things and assemble them. Now it is a little bit, this might change to where you can put objects on other objects, but for right now, you can only place objects on cubes. So I can't easily put a window on this wall. I have to manually move it right now. I expect that to change in the future, but for now it's easier to like build a wall and then put a door on the wall instead of trying to put it on a voxel asset wall. The other thing is if you were to rig these together in VoxEdit, you would be able to still have that empty space. You just can't have them all as one object, or you get that collision box. So I think I might be repeating myself a little bit there, but I think you get the point. And where do you go? Okay. So yeah, if you're looking at the avatar logic, you've got a lot of different options already. So I can set it for first person. I can set it for invisible. I actually kind of like being able to see the feet and the hands when you're running around in first person. The only problem is right now the brim of the hat kind of comes down over the view just a little bit. You can change the walk speed, the run speed. So jump speed I had set for 10. So you can reset these all to default values. Gravity factor, interaction range, cam distance. So you can set the camera like really far away if you're doing like a platformer kind of thing. I mean, you could do like a top-down strategy game with a really distant camera. You can do really close, like over the shoulder, like horror kind of claustrophobic feeling thing if you wanted to. So if we close that and go back to play, now I'm in first person and you can see the jump is like really short now. I don't know if I'll even be able to reach this. Yeah. Hey, we did it. So you can see why I didn't choose first person for this one, because it's really way too limited of a view for easy platforming. But it gives you a different feeling. So the other another game that I made, we're actually getting back out of this one. We'll take a quick peek at Derelict Dungeon. Yeah, we're not going to save the changes I did to that. Those were silly changes. Starting to lose my voice a little bit. All right, so Derelict Dungeon. We open that up. So this one I made with the intent of a first-person view. So there's not nearly as many like jumping, platforming kind of things going on. but I did want kind of that claustrophobic, like horror kind of feeling. We're at the end of my hour, but we'll stick around for a little bit if you guys want. This one has a lot of entities on it, so it takes it a second to kind of catch up. You know, it might actually be because I'm streaming. It doesn't usually stutter this much, but I think the streaming is making it angry with me. Ooh. So there's going to be more optimizations going on. Right now, one kind of silly thing is if your CPU is if it's too intense for your CPU, you have too many assets running around, or like in my case, I'm streaming, so it's working with the video stream. It actually slows down the gravity stepping, so I can jump like really, really far and really high. Like, I'm not supposed to be able to fly like that. I just jumped like all the way to the edge of the map. Yeah, if you watch the trailer for this, which is up on my Twitter, and there's also I don't know if it's on the Sandbox YouTube yet, but it should be on the Sandbox YouTube sometime in the next week or two. There's a 30-second trailer for this, and it looks nice and smooth, and that's because I was just screen recording. I wasn't streaming. Definitely did not run like this before, so apologize for that. But yeah, you can tell just by changing to the first person perspective, it creates a whole different mood and feel in here. So that's the game maker. I'm gonna back out of that because it's giving me a headache with a low frame rate. Does anybody have any more questions that they'd like to ask? I'll give you guys a minute or two. Keep in mind that the Ask Me Anything is coming up on the 24th, so just a couple days. And how many lands? Yeah. So everything that I've shown here is all on one land. Yep, a single land, a 96 by 96 meter parcel. Yeah. So it's you can see it's actually a lot of space. Like, you read 96 by 96 by 128, and it's kind of like, it doesn't sound like a lot. And then when you actually see how much stuff you can put on it, it's like, oh, that's actually a nice amount of space. And so this single land would cost like about $30 in the pre-sale. It depends on which pre-sale, because there was a discount for each one, and I don't remember off the top of my head what the one coming up at the end of this month is. But you get that space for $30. You get to develop that. It's hosted. You can share it with people. You can monetize it, so people can pay to visit your land or pay to do certain things or buy assets on your land. So there's a lot of possibilities. It's a lot of exciting stuff. So any more questions? All right, well, if there's no other questions, I think that's it for me today. Oh, we do have one more question. Can you change the scale of everything to make the land seem even bigger? I have... You can change... So there's not a scaling of the items, but what you could do... I don't know how well it would work. Let me back out of this land. We'll do an experiment. This will be live. So, pay attention. Let's open up. I think if you set the height of your camera super low and make it first person, you could make yourself seem really small. and then you could kind of compensate with your land of how you want to design things to be that way. So you could make big assets, like you could make a 20-meter tall chair or something. There's a Quake 3 mod I used to play back in college like 10 years ago called World of Padman. I think it's based on like a comic book character and who's like a superhero mouse or something like that. Hey Roak, yeah, long time no see. Yeah, I've been so busy working on this stuff. I haven't had time to just like stream games or like hang out. So if we gotta find the character. He starts way up here. We're gonna bring him down to Earth. So what we're gonna do is we're going to change the avatar logic. So we're going to be in first person. We're not going to be visible because I don't want to deal with that. We're going to change the walk speed like super slow. And we'll do the run speed like a little bit faster just in case. Jump is going to be super low. Yes, I don't even know like what that does specifically. But gravity, I'll change that. Cam altitude. So we're going to put the camera to like the floor. And cam distance, well, first person, I don't think the camera distance matters. Okay, we're going to close, play, and we're going to see. Okay, so I put the camera a little bit too low and it's clipping through the ground, but you can see that now it feels like you're like a mouse or an ant. And so that was, everything here is still the same size. Little tiny hop jump. Everything here is still the same size, but by moving the camera really low to the ground and making the move speed really slow, it feels like everything is super big. So this combined with being able to make assets that even though you're not scaling them, with just like stretching them, you can actually design them to be bigger. If you modeled a chair, that's the height of a house, or even like, you could do a whole kitchen. You could do a single kitchen that takes up an entire land, and you could be like, like sim ant or something. You could have like an army of ants going around the kitchen. That's actually like, I really want to do that. It's funny that you ask because this is something that I've thought about before. Would be doing something like World of Padman. It's still around. You can Google it. World of Padman is like Padman, and it's a first person shooter where you play as like a mouse in like people's houses, and it's like an arena shooter, where everything is huge. So you can like go through pipes and climb into like electrical outlets or whatever, and yeah. So that's what you could do to make it seem like everything's really big. There's a couple different ways to accomplish that. But you wouldn't be able to like, I don't think you'd be able to effectively like do it the other way around. Well, I guess you could. If you made really small assets, let's say you wanted to make a strategy game and you could make an entire skyscraper's footprint only like 1 meter or like 32 by 32 voxels. You could do like a SimCity kind of game. As far as player interaction with that, I don't know exactly how that would work. That's something that as the game maker tools develop, we'll have to see how that looks. But I think you could probably do that too. Make the assets really tiny, so that way it's sort of the opposite. I think that might actually be what you were asking for, Riley. I might have misunderstood the question the first time. Does that make sense? Me rambling. These are some more of my brick buildings here. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I think this would be a cool mechanic. Obviously, we don't want the camera clipping through the ground. I think if I had just put it like 1 unit taller, it probably would have been okay. Any other questions? You can see the nice depth of field effect when you get really close to things. They blur. All right, well, that is my time for Saturday, and I will be back here same time next Saturday, unless nobody cares. I think we got a good turnout, so hopefully by next Saturday I will have a new game to show off, and then by the time, what day of the week is next Saturday? Next Saturday is the 28th, so that's actually going to be right before the pre-sale. So I'll remind you all about that again, because that'll be the 28th. The pre-sale is on the 31st. The contest ends on the 30th, and the Ask Me Anything is on the 24th, so that's on Tuesday. So you're welcome, Science. Thank you for coming and watching. And yeah, thank you, everybody. Check out the Sandbox on Twitter at the Sandbox Game, and you can check my stuff out too. It's all on Twitch or YouTube or whatever you're watching from. You'll have links to either the Sandbox or to me, so there will be more information if you are interested in learning more. I'm on the Discord like at all random hours of the day, so you are always welcome to ask me questions there. My username on the Discord channel for the Sandbox is actually just Alex. So you can find me there and ask me whatever. So thank you for watching. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't go anywhere. And love y'all.